normal.
A new normal.
A new normal.
Doesn't that make you feel all warm and fuzzy, folks? Doesn't that make you feel safe, knowing that the government is attempting to look after us so much by giving us proximity locators? Wonderful way to return to work. That way you'll know that you're safe and you're not a dangerous person. And what makes you dangerous? Well, of course, being within 1.5 meters or perhaps 2 meters of anybody else. That makes you a dangerous person. According to your proximity locator, if that happens, perhaps you need to go for a checkup in case you have a temperature. You may have the terrible virus, but by any means, you're breaking the rules, and therefore you're a dangerous person. Interesting the way they're playing things, isn't it? You know, for your safety, of course. Wonderful stuff. I was going to bring you a walk and talk today, but it's a cold and miserable day again, so no chance of that. The weather's been kind of up and down like a yo-yo. One day it's good, the next day it's just horrible, and that's what they're doing at the moment, so that's the way it is. But there's all sorts of stuff going on. This is only going to be a short report today, folks, but there's all sorts of stuff going on. New Zealand has introduced new legislation whereby they have now got takedown laws, online takedown laws. They can take down anything that they deem is not supporting the official narrative because it may be a danger. It may be spreading misinformation about COVID. It may be telling you what's really going on, and you've got to remember that you can't listen to any of that. You've got to dismiss anything you hear which may be conspiratorial or anything that isn't government approved, because as was said and made perfectly clear by Jacinda Ardern and the New Zealand government will remain your single source of truth, and you must dismiss everything else.
Dismiss anything else. We will continue to be your single source of truth.
We must never forget that. Thank you, Jacinda, for pointing that out to us. And so they've introduced new online takedown laws to keep us safe from germs and to keep us safe from COVID. In fact, they're doing all sorts of things to keep us safe from germs, folks. There's all sorts of new high-tech devices that are coming out, which I'm sure many people will love, and they will purchase these devices and pay for their own slavery, as people do. Must be the fluoride, but that's the way it goes, folks. And it's all to keep us safe from germs. One of the things that they're doing, of course, and something that we've seen already, is the drone delivery systems, just to keep you safe from germs. It's got nothing to do with you having your social contact limited and not having anything to do with anybody else and making sure you're always 1.5 minutes apart from everybody. Oh no, nothing to do with that. Nothing to do with that. It's all to make sure you're safe from germs.
Matternet is an all-new technology that has posed itself to be the United States' first drone-powered airline. The company has partnered with UPS and gained full approval from the FAA to begin the nation's first large-scale operation of deliveries that take place via drone. Their main goal for the moment is to deliver goods and products to hospitals, since these establishments are some of UPS's largest customers and require lots of manpower and time to fulfill orders. Matternet can resolve this issue by making deliveries fully automated and dropped off via drones that do not require human operation. This will free up many company assets and allow deliveries to arrive much sooner than they would have if they were transported by an on-ground vehicle. For the moment, this technology is still in its infancy stages, as drones are unable to carry packages that weigh more than a few pounds. However, Matternet is hard at work to determine many different means of delivering large packages, including building stronger drones that can handle deliveries of all shapes, sizes, and weights. Considering the recent political climate around the world concerning the various medical illnesses that have plagued nearly every country in the world, there has never been a better time for this sort of technology. Not only will this allow hospitals to receive their packages much sooner, but this could also help to save lives by not exposing drivers to dangerous illnesses, or exposing hospital workers to bacteria and germs that may appear on packages after they have been transmitted through dozens of different trucks and factories.
A great new device for all of the, as Harry Vox would call them, Aaron Lattes and all the soccer mums and all of these sort of people. A great new fashionable device that I'm sure many people will love is the new AO Air mask that you can get, which I'm sure will be a wonderful delivery system for all sorts of stuff. Of course, it comes with Bluetooth connection, so you'll be constantly surrounded in Wi-Fi. It delivers you the type of air they would like you to have, and no doubt it would also be used to alert other people if there may be something wrong with you.
AO Air. AO Air is a device that we could all use right now, given the frequency and severity of severe illness outbreaks across the world. AO Air is a smart mask that claims to offer up to 50 times better filtration abilities than regular masks. The company claims that the mask is an alternative to a standard N95 mask, with an independent lab allegedly confirming that the technology is legitimate and this mask truly does filter out nearly all contaminants. AO Air can protect you from up to 98% of contaminants and will help filter out 5 times more particles than an N95 mask. There is no seal around the mouth of the mask, so you do not have to struggle to breathe or worry about fogging your glasses or building condensation in the mask itself. A Bluetooth module helps to monitor your air quality to ensure that you are informed about the air you are breathing. Pre-orders are available now and the masks cost just $70 each.
Of course, they don't tell you about any alerts that may be included in the mask, but I'm sure that would come later, whereby if you did happen to have a temperature or something, you'll probably get a little red light or a little mark come up on your mask so people will know that you're not particularly safe to be around. Perhaps you've done some jogging and your temperature is up half a degree, so can't be around that person. He may be dangerous. Nice to have things like this, and nice to know they're looking after us the way they are. And there's new additions to your household they're giving us as well, folks, if you would like one. I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful addition for your child. It's called ClickBot. You know, they want to bring robots into the household, but people are kind of creeped out when you see robots and they've got, you know, human-like features like, you know, Terminator or, you know, iRobot, this sort of stuff, because people are kind of expecting it to go berserk. You know, they've been hyping us up this type of, you know, AI takeover for years.
10年後の日本 AI が全国民の個人情報と健康を管理する社会
望みは人を助けるための AI です
AI がなんで言うことを聞かない
突如暴走を始めた AI が価値のない人間を選別して殺戮を開始する
生活の中に入り込んだ AI が本当の暴走を始めたら人間はあっという間に殺される
And so rather than simply have the normal type of robot you would see on Hollywood, they give us ClickBot.
ClickBot is an all-new educational robot that has recently received over $800,000 in public funding, while only requesting an initial $25,000 investment from backers. ClickBot is supposed to be your family's newest friend, in addition to the household. The robot is able to think, respond, and react in a very natural way that can mimic that of your common household pets or other humans. He can listen to you and make educated decisions on how to proceed, even when introduced to complicated situations. He's also able to teach your young children about many different things. The included app will teach your child how to transform ClickBot into various different forms, granting him a limitless list of possibilities. He can walk, crawl, race, draw, and even dance. ClickBot gives your child and family the skills they need to succeed in everyday life, while also learning from your reactions, requests, and several integrated online resources.
And of course, this will be a wonderful addition to your home, folks. No need to worry about your kids getting the wrong information anymore. They will only get government-approved information through ClickBot. Government-approved knowledge from a cool toy, which will be the newest friend in your household. Can replace your pets. No need for pets anymore. You can get information from ClickBot. It will give you the skills you need to learn. No need for you to learn yourself. Aren't we lucky that we're being so well looked after? Interesting stuff, folks. Another thing I want to bring in are smart door locks.
The USC Smart Camera Door Lock is an all-new technology that controls various locks within your home or business by scanning your face and unlocking the door accordingly. This will allow many members of your family to scan their face into the device's memory and allow them entry to your home without ever having to turn a key or enter a passcode. These would make excellent additions to many work environments, as workers can have their faces logged into the database and gain entry into various parts of the building without needing to hand out expensive keys or reveal sensitive passwords. This would be perfect for an environment in which workers need constant and immediate access to private rooms or hallways. Simply approach the door and it will automatically unlock for an employee, but remain locked for anyone else passing by, such as a customer or an employee with a lower clearance level. You can even unlock your door remotely through the app, so if you are expecting an important package, you can allow your postal worker to enter your home and leave the package indoors. Pricing is currently unavailable for these locks, but we don't imagine they will be cheap. However, you can't put a price on security.
Smart door locks, folks. Great during blackouts, great when the internet goes down, and even more effective when the government wishes to lock you in or out of your home by a particular person. Facial recognition can lock you in but let the rest of your family out. Perhaps they could even set up a little 5G area there so you get zapped if you go out. Maybe give you a little bracelet so you get an electric shock. But great if they just want to lock you in or out of your home. Why would they want to do that? Well, you may be down on social credit points. You may have said the wrong thing. You may have gone to the wrong type of meeting or associated with someone dangerous. You may have got closer than 1.5 meters from someone, and so they may feel that it's necessary to lock you in your home. And so they can just have this smart door lock there, but it's only for your protection, just to keep you safe, just to make sure that the germs aren't transferred, because germs are terrible things, folks. All you have to do is look into germ theory to see how completely ridiculous that concept is, but that's what they like to tell us. Wonderful stuff, isn't it, folks? Or to keep you safe from the terrible COVID, because we wouldn't want anyone to get sick. We don't want anyone ever getting sick again, folks, and with that in mind, they've also developed a wonderful new tool called Phone Soap, so you can wash your phone.
Phone Soap Pro is an all-new product that appeared on Shark Tank several years ago. The new Pro version claims to kill 99.99% of bacteria on your phone, credit cards, pens, and other devices in just 5 minutes. Simply place your phone and other belongings inside, and the device will begin disinfecting them without the need of harsh chemicals. The product uses patented light technology that breaks down bacteria and kills it without needing to use alcohol or any other cleaning agent. The new Pro model will be available on May 18th of 2020, but pre-orders are available now online for just $119.
Make sure that there's no bacteria on your phone, folks. Put it in this little device, hook it up to this little USB 3 thing, and it cleans your phone of germs. Of course, there wouldn't be any data being transferred down the cable from the USB cable that's plugged into the phone. No, the government wouldn't do that. The government's very trustworthy, folks. You should always believe what they say. Well, according to government sources anyway. So since they're the only ones we can trust, I guess they're the ones that we should believe. Isn't that how we got into this position of incredible safety that we're entering into now? We're so lucky, folks. And another thing they've got for us, just in case we can't really handle this and it gets too much for us, you can get sleep rock. You know, they say that back in the old days when we lived in caves, did we ever actually live in caves? Well, that's right, we did, according to the history books, which come from the academic people who lie to us about history. According to them, we lived in caves. And when we did, we used to hold on to rocks when we slept. Of course, we never dropped them or anything. We just used to clutch these things, I guess, when we were sleeping. But with that in mind, they've developed sleep rock for you. So now you can have this wonderful little electronic rock that you can hold on to when you go to bed. It's probably got a nice little lithium cell in there that heats up, so it'll be a nice little bomb that you're holding in your hand anyway if they want to trigger it off by remote, but that's something that no one would ever do. But you've got this nice little electronic rock that you can go to sleep with now, folks. Isn't that a wonderful invention? Aren't you glad?
Sleep rock is a device that many viewers are unlikely to take seriously, but the technology allegedly works and takes its roots from the prehistoric days, when humans would live in caves or other makeshift homes. Sleep rock is a device that helps to settle your restless thoughts and give you something to occupy your mind while you fall asleep. The product is perfectly weighted and warms as you sleep. Its texture claims to assist in reaching faster, deeper forms of sleep more often. The company claims that our ancestors used to sleep while clutching rocks or weapons, so that if any predatory animals came nearby, they would be able to defend themselves without hesitation. This thought pattern has supposedly embedded itself into our DNA hundreds of years later, meaning that we are bound to sleep more soundly if we are clutching something in our hands. The rock is available on Kickstarter for just $39, and the company plans to launch and ship it in early December.
And isn't that a wonderful idea, folks? Forget the teddy bears. You can just go to sleep with this radioactive Wi-Fi brain programmer and sleep better. Who knows? You may even wake up a whole new person. Aren't we lucky that we're being so well looked after? Yeah. Interesting future, folks. Interesting future. You know, as I said, this isn't going to go away. And this is just what's been rolled out with the first wave. But they're giving you an idea of what the new normal is going to look like if you choose to participate. That's the thing, is if people choose to participate. You know, and they've even said, the CDC said that the death rate is 0.02%, less than seasonal flu. They've locked down the whole world. If people can't get what's going on now, well, I don't know. You know, and with what's been going on in the United States, I mean, the terrible death, the murder of that man in Minneapolis, when the police just kneeled on his back and kneeled on his neck for like, I don't know, there was like 8 minutes on video where they were on his neck. I mean, how much they'd been on his neck before the video was turned on. Yeah, and killed him, just murdered him in front of all those people while ridiculing while they were doing it. The bucket of turd disguised as a police officer. I mean, you can't call it human. What's its name? Derek something. Cowan or something. Derek Corvin, I think. This bucket of shit, I mean, saying, get up. I've been sitting here waiting for you to get up, while he's kneeling on the man's back and kneeling on his neck and pushing his neck into the ground and basically slowly murdering him in front of all those people. Absolutely horrendous. I couldn't have stood by and watched that. I couldn't have stood by and filmed it, you know. I would have run him from the side and just kicked him. I would have kicked him in the head, kicked him in the side, whatever. I wouldn't have cared what happened. I would have done it. You can't tolerate that sort of stuff. That's murder in the street, and the United States has kind of developed into riots because of that. As I said a few reports ago, you know, one of the big problems will be if the United States lapses into civil unrest, because that's what they can use to roll out the National Guard, bring in their military. You know, they just need some spark to set this off, and that seems to be what this has been. You know, and whether you can say, oh, this was planned to be the spark, they didn't really have to plan it, because with the cops, with the mentality they've got, and half of them are amped up on steroids, it's just a matter of time before something like this happened anyway, before someone just was jacked up on speed or something. I mean, God knows what drugs these cops are on when they're out there doing this stuff. You know, it's just a matter of time before this sort of a thing happened. And now that it has, it's going to be taken to the next level in the United States, so it's going to be a pretty interesting future from here on. And it's happening right around the world. It's happening everywhere. There's protests here on Saturday tomorrow that I intend to go and check out. Helicopter over the house, folks. That's interesting. Some sort of an ultralight and a plane. Strange. Plane and a helicopter. Very weird. But anyway, yeah, there's some protests around Australia, I think, in capital cities tomorrow morning, so I want to be involved in that. I want to see where they are and what's going on, see if I can get there. I don't think it's a good idea to have violent protests, though, folks. I really don't. Even when you see some of the protests that have been happening in Minneapolis as a result of the death of Mr. Floyd, you know, we've seen the, you know, auto stores burning down and things like this. I mean, this doesn't help anybody. It doesn't serve any purpose to do this sort of stuff. The problem here is the police and the government, the legislation. There's no need to be burning down the poor housing and burning down auto shops and smashing cars and any of this sort of stuff. It doesn't make any sense. A lot of this stuff, I think, is done by agents provocateurs, and that's why people, you know, you've got to be very careful going to these type of protests and doing these sorts of things. You know, I think there's better ways of doing things. Just spreading the message of unity to people and the message of non-compliance and the message of what's actually going down, what we're being led into, is far more productive than riots. The big problem here is the breakdown of the food chain and the hyperinflation and breakdown of all the economic system that's going to follow. You know, and by riots, you're just creating more chaos on the ground. You're creating an unstable environment that's making it more and more difficult to rebuild. You know, remember, this is your homes, your communities you're destroying. So, you know, be careful what you destroy. Lashing out and open violence against, you know, inanimate objects like auto stores and poor housing isn't doing anything. The problem is the government, and, you know, calm, responsible action, even if it is motivated by anger, is far better than just letting the anger take over and letting it turn into wanton violence against inanimate objects. It doesn't lead anywhere. You know, as I said, I think a lot of this is done by agents provocateurs because it gives them the excuse to, you know, bring in the National Guard. It looks great on the TV news reports when they say buildings burning and all this sort of stuff. So these are the people who usually set these type of incidents happening. You'll find whenever there's any type of real protest, there's always off-duty police that come in there, and they're the ones that start throwing rocks and start making it violent. So then the actual uniformed police have an opportunity to respond. So, you know, we've got to be very careful how we play this, you know, especially the American people, because the big prize here is America. If America falls, the world will fall. And that's a real problem because America is almost on the verge of civil war with what's going on. And we don't want that. That would not be a good thing. But anyway, folks, I'm going to leave it there. A short report today. There's a lot of stuff I've got to get done. So I can't spend too much time with you today. And I'll bring you another report as soon as I'm able, folks. Be the next day or two, I'll bring you another report. I'll look forward to speaking to you again soon. And if you're involved in any of these instances, if you're in the United States, if you are involved in any of these protests, try to keep it tame. I mean, try to keep it responsible. But again, if you do see police violence, if you see police murdering someone like they were doing to this guy on the streets of Minneapolis, jump in and stop it. I mean, jump in and stop it. That's what I would do. There's no way I could stand by and watch that happen. I wouldn't care if the guy was wearing a uniform. I wouldn't care what the situation was. I wouldn't care who tried to stop me. I would get in there and I would knock that guy off the man that he had his neck on. Like I said earlier, I'd probably kick him in the head. I'd just run in from the side and I'd just kick him in the head. Or I'd just fully leap off the ground and throw myself at him and knock him off the man. I wouldn't care what happened to me after that. I mean, this sort of activity cannot be tolerated, and it's going to continue unless we stop it. And and this should be enough reason for everybody to simply want to say no and realize that enough is enough. This is what they are doing to preserve public safety from COVID-19. Then fuck their public safety and fuck their COVID-19. I'll speak to you again soon, folks, in Lakesh.
Bro, get in the car, man. I will. Get in the car. I can't move. I've been waiting the whole time.
Yo, here we go once again. Said it before and I say it again. Open up my mouth and the words go spilling out. No need to shout, gonna tell you what I'm on about. I'm the man with the master plan, spreading my message all across the land. Time to wake up, all the crimes we've been living with. Rise together and change the system, so we're rising to the heavens we're flying. No surprises, all together we're striving. Time to be the change, tomorrow we're thriving. Make a better world that I wanna be alive in. Ain't got time for the new world religions, but that bullshit news that they be peddling. Open up your eyes to the lie we be living in. But the government change the system, ain't democracy, it's hypocrisy. They tell us how to live when we wanna be free. Wanna follow my current through this endless scene. Not drowning in the notion of bureaucracy. Filling out forms to conform to the norm. Trading as an essence, still real born. Now the IRT and the GCSB got me on fuckers. I'm threatening their reality. My rhymes hit harder than Joseph Parker. Causes out to in the halls of power. And my words hit nerves, it ain't no surprise. Watch the devil in disguise transform before your eyes scheming. Things to the demons, playing with their lives. Like they play with the seasons, but they ain't playing games. Just trying to be real. Build a better system that I wanna believe. And so we're rising to the heavens, we're flying. No surprising, all together we're striving. Time to be the change, tomorrow we're thriving. Make a better world that I wanna be alive in. Ain't got time for the new world religions or that bullshit news that they be peddling. Open up your eyes to the lie we be living in. Fuck the government, change the system. Fuck the government, change the system. Rise together and change the system. All my people gotta change the system. Just raise your fist in the air, so I can see that you really do care. Cause our time has come, journey just begun. Better recognize that we all are one. Cause I'm here to entertain and elevate you. Take it to another place, another state of mind, where the truth's not hard to find. All you gotta do is look deep inside. Is where the heart is, where my soul resides. Make it better world is my one desire. So I spit dope rhymes, get my word across. Better make a change before we all are lost. Cause I've seen the promised land.